Hello everyone, and welcome to another viewer-submitted deck. This deck submitted by Liam and tuned by yours truly. So what we have today is 12 ball. Originally 8 ball back when Ball Lightning and Groundbreaker were around. Turned into 12 ball with the addition of Lightning Skelemental, and just turned into this fun little Jundi deck in front of you. Now I do know there is a admittingly better version of this deck that's just Rakdos, but hey, I wanted to play Groundbreaker. In order to do that, it needed to be Jund. So let's go ahead and run through this deck, see what it's trying to do, run it through a few games, see if it's any good. If you have no interest in the intro, there should be chapters in the bottom of the screen. Sometimes I forget to put them there. Just leave a comment on the video, I'll put them in. All right, anyway, so what are we trying to do? Well, as previously mentioned, we have a whole bunch of Ball Lightning creatures with Ball Lightning itself. If you've never run into Ball Lightning is a 6/1 with Trample and Haste. It's a 6/1 for 3 red mana, with the caveat that at the end of your turn, sacrifice it. And that in itself is an interesting creature. It's not the worst thing out there, but imagine if instead of having 4, you had 8 in Groundbreaker. So this is a planar chaos card. They called them kind of plane shifted. So this was taking things that were normally in one color's pie. For example, Ball Lightning is from the dark, and bringing it into the other colors of the rainbow here. So here we have green, because green is of course creatures, and this is a big creature that hits things, so it makes sense for it to be in green. Then when Modern Horizons, the original one, came out, they came out with Lightning Skelemental. So this is of course Blightning on a Ball Lightning. So the whole idea is it comes down as a 6/1 you throw in, and if it connects with a player, which it should, it's a 6/1 and it has Trample, they have to discard 2 cards. But again, that ability being broken is kind of counteracted by the fact that you have to sacrifice it at end of turn. We also have 4 Hell's Thunder. Now what this is essentially another Ball Lightning, but it only is a 4/4 instead of a 6/6. You have to sacrifice at the end of turn. It has Unearth, and it has Flying. So it's good to get over people. It's also what I cut most of the time in the deck. So those are your ball creatures. They live in the 3-drop slot, which if you look at our mana value here is where the majority of our things live. And going down to our other creature, we have Thunderkin Awakener, which has an ability that essentially says when it attacks, take any elemental with toughness lower than Thunderkin's toughness and put it into play attacking. Here we have Groundbreaker, Ball Lightning, and Lightning Skelemental that can just come back over and over again because they're always going to be in the graveyard. Now, it does have the caveat that you have to sacrifice that creature, but we sacrifice these anyway. It also has haste, so sometimes it just comes in for extra beats. Or Bloodbraid Elf. These Bloodbraid Elves are here just for value. They can find a Ball Lightning, they can find Thunderkin Awakener. Hopefully they don't find a Mana Dork, but they can do things. And finally, we have 4 Collected Companies here, which can get 2 Ball Lightnings. You can either do this on your opponent's end step, or you can do this in your main phase if you're just looking to crush face and kill them that turn. We also have 4 Lightning Bolts. It's really our only interaction outside of sending big trampling creatures at our opponent. So they're just good, they're fine to cascade into, they remove creatures, they're also player removal. Now, here's where the deck gets interesting. I'm running 4 Ignoble Hierarchs in 3 at the moment, Birds of Paradise. And the whole idea with this deck is turn 1, get down a Dork, turn 2, get down a Ball. So if we can get any of these down turn 2, especially Lightning Skelemental, we can really just come in and smash right off the bat. So that's what we're trying to do with all these different Mana Dorks. We might add in more Mana Dorks, we might remove some. This deck is very much a brew and very fluid. The mana base is interesting. 2 Blood Crypts, 3 Copperline Gorge, 3 Forests, 3 Misty Rainforest, 1 Overgrown Tomb, 4 Stomping Grounds, I apologize, 1 Windswept Heath, and 4 Woodland Foothills, because the mana is a little weird. Our only black card is Lightning Skelemental, but it's just too good to not play. But we only have 3 ways of getting black mana in the 2 Blood Crypts and the 1 Overgrown Tomb, but I find it works most of the time. Also, we have Ignoble Hierarch and Birds of Paradise, so I suppose our black pips are everywhere now that I say it out loud. Now, the sideboard is something that might change as we play along here. So against our opponent's graveyard stuff, we have 2 Leyline of the Void. We also have an Ancient Grudge for artifacts, a Anger of the God in case our opponent is going super duper wide and we're just trying to kill them with little balls. We have 2 Chokes, always just good to have in your deck that doesn't play blue. 2 Kitchen Finks against things like Burn. 2 Gemstone Caverns if we're ever on the draw after game 1, so that we can hopefully again get our Ball Lightnings out a turn early, as well as our Collected Companies. 3 Defense Grids, and having the different art kind of screws me up sometimes. But anyway, 3 Defense Grids to stop people from countering our things. We're not running any Cavern of Souls, which we might change later. I guess we could put them on Elemental. and 2 Chalice of the Voids to stop our opponent's Cascade decks, or as well as anything else if we need to lock ourselves out of 1-drops against burn or something like that. And that's the deck. It's very much just Hulk smash, ready, set, go. And let's run it through some games. There's definitely some things we need to change. In fact, I think even before we get into the first game, I'm going to take out one of these forests and put in a mountain just in case. And I will see you there. Join me, won't you? All right, first game, and we win a die roll. Okay, so yeah, we have lands. We have the ability to play a Ball Lightning turn 2 and a Collected Company turn 3. So as long as our Ignoble lives, we're in really good shape. All right, our opponent has chosen to keep 7, which is fine. So Windswept Teeth, crack this, go get a Stomping Ground, punch ourselves in the face, and play out Ignoble. Hopefully our opponent has no turn 1 play, and next turn we get to come screaming in for 7. Windswept Teeth, oh no. I don't think Ignoble Hierarch's gonna make it, guys. No covered forest. Oh, Noble Hierarch. Okay, so this could be a lot of things. I'm hoping by the time we need to find out... Ooh, we could play Lightning Skelemental instead. Let's play Lightning Skelemental instead. I'm hoping by the time we find out our opponent's dead. So here's a Lightning Skelemental. So hope you didn't need those cards in your hand, opponent. So crack them for 7. They discard a Wall of Blossoms and a Misty Rainforest. So is this some sort of Yawgmothy deck? Oh, or is this Wall of Blossoms isn't Wall of Roots, so this is just a Blink deck. Okay, so let's see what they're gonna do with this. They're just going to create a bird creature? They're returning Ignoble Hierarch to my hand. Well, unfortunately for you, I have more Ball Lightnings. So we draw another Collected Company. So we're actually just going to try and win with Ball Lightnings, because I feel like that's enough. There's a Ball Lightning. If we draw another land, that's great. I feel like that's amazing, but right now we're just going to put them to 4, and then we have another one of those in our hands. So, I mean, if we find another land, we get to Coco. If we don't, we have another Ball Lightning. I feel like they just have a counterspell up now. Yeah, so they'll hit us for 3. Oh, if they tap out, then that's just a win. Yeah, they're just going to draw a card. Well, unfortunately for you, Ball Lightning plus Ball Lightning plus Ball Lightning just equals win. So, Ball Lightning. I'm really glad I put that mountain in this deck. I'm really glad it's not a basic forest. That would have been much worse. Oh, okay. Well, opponent's still in it. So they evoke out the Solitude. Seems like they almost had the Ephemerate, but they decided to play out the Ether Channel. I guess because they knew, oh wow, they just have Ether Channel or Tron. They just got to draw another card. I mean, at this point, we really, really want to find another land. Yep, they're just drawing cards. So they hit us to 4, or they hit us 4/4. And we just try and, like, I mean, if we draw Black Source, we have another ball. If we don't, we play out Ignoble Hierarch and we have to fade. Or that'll happen. Does Hell's Thunderer get through? Do you have another Solitude opponent? This one flies. Yep, and that's game 1. So against Blinky stuff, hey. I mean, Choke wouldn't be the worst. Gemstone Caverns are good. So we can take out the 2 forests, put in the 2 Gemstone Caverns. That's real easy. Choke is like mid at best. I guess we could Defense Grid to stop them from doing things on our turn, but we don't even know if that's kind of what they're up to. I guess we could take out some number of other cards to put in Defense Grid. So if we take out 1 Thunderkin Awakener, 1 Lightning Bolt, and 1 Groundbreaker for the 3 Defense Grids, I think that'll hopefully stop them from interacting too much on our turn. So let's try that. All right, and our first hand has absolutely no lands, so Mull. Second hand doesn't have the 3rd land, but we get 2 draws. Let's try this. We'll put back a Bloodbraid Elf, and we have 2 turns to draw the 2nd land to Skelemental turn 2. The forest into Hierarch, that's fine. Hopefully land. Okay, Misty, we did it. So we're actually going to go Stomping Ground, because we might need to go get black mana if the bird dies. But hopefully the bird doesn't die, and we just Skelemental turn 2. I mean, at this point, they have to know to kill the mana dork, right? Like, all my deck is ball effects. I have 3 balls in hand. That's where you want to be, gentlemen. You want to have 3 balls in your hand. That sound you're hearing is every 12-year-old snickering, by the way. All right, Flooded Strand. What's their 3-drop going to be? If it's just the little wizard dude, that's not terribly worrying. Last Pool Mimic. A Noble Hierarch? Sure, that's weird. But anyway, ooh. We're gonna have multiple Lightning Skelementals. Be Still my beating heart. Because we have Groundbreakers. We can either do a Stomping Ground or we do the Overgrown Tomb. I think we do the Stomping Ground, truth be told. And we just try and, like, hope our Bird of Paradise lives. I mean, if you have a Solitude, this is the moment to Solitude, opponent. Oh, nope. Sure. So now we Skelemental. I mean, this feels fine. This feels fantastic. They're gonna have 1 card in hand. What do they discard? Discard 2 lands. So there goes the Lightning Skelemental. But next turn, we're gonna to have another Lightning Skelemental, and they're going to have no cards in hand. They do nothing. I feel a counter spell in my bones. But this deck really only has one plan, so even though I feel like we're walking into something, like, we have no other plan, we didn't draw land, so we can't try and Bloodbraid our way around it. Oh, is it just hard cast? This feels like they're just gonna hard cast Solitude, because they did manage to get 5 mana. Okay, so it is hard cast Solitude. That's fine, we have more elementals. Interesting. I mean, going after the bird is actually correct, because we need 3 mana. Do they just take it? It seems correct just to take, yeah. Okay, now we got ourselves a game. Again, the elementals of Modern Horizon being my eternal, you know, thorn in my side on this one. So he's going to attack for 5 mana a turn. Oh man, he's already starting to redraw. So dude's starting to get himself back in order. We are just trying to find, like, land off the top would be great, actually. So land into essentially another Groundbreaker. Lightning Balls, you say. So Ignoble Hierarch. Hope they just draw dead. And then hopefully we draw another land, we can Bloodbraid Elf. Otherwise, we just try and go one ball at a time, right? Goes to show you how quickly our plan is disrupted by a single piece of removal. So we get hit down to 5. That means we're dead, actually, unless we draw a land to play the Bloodbraid Elf, because the Solitude just gonna hit us, hey. So we have to just play Ignoble Hierarch. This game has officially gone on too long for us to just steal it super quick. And we just have to keep passing and hope they keep drawing dead. I mean, next turn we could just play Bloodbraid Elf, maybe. Another Solitude. Is it worth to keep playing at this point? I don't think so. Well, let's go to the next game. We're not getting out from under this. So it turns out my original idea of the defense grids was correct. Is there anything else I can do in the meantime? I mean, they have some amount of islands, but I feel like Choke is really more against control-y things and not opponents who have Noble Hierarchs. Let's just see if going on the play helps. Ready? We will play first. I forgot to take the Gemstone Caverns out of the deck. Okay. Does that change much? Not really. We can keep and we can turn 3 Coco. So we have turn 1 and turn 2 plays, which is fine. And hopefully between then and now we find the better thing. Gemstone Cavern is just a bit of a useless land right now. I think if it was a forest, it wouldn't be that much more helpful, so oopsie. Opponent mulligan to 6, that's always a good sign. All right, so Overgrown Tomb, A2, and Ignoble Hierarch. All right, and ship the turn. And if we draw a ball now, we can play anything other than ball lightning. So if we find Groundbreaker or Lightning Skelemental, we can play that. They Sparta's headquarters, so we really want to find Lightning Skelemental. We find Hell's Thunderer, which I suppose we can cast anyway. So we're going to cast this because the Thunderkin Awakener doesn't do much, if we're being honest. There's no balls in the graveyard. Okay, so we hit him for 5, which is, you know, a far cry from 7, but still takes a quarter of their life out. And we still got to ball on turn 2. And then next turn we have Coco ready to go. So that seems great. Noble Hierarch, sure thing. Forge Tender. Honestly, that's fine. That doesn't do as much as they think it does. Like, it either stops a ball or it does almost nothing. So let's go get just a mountain. And we'll Coco at the end of our opponent's turn. And then we Coco again on our turn. And hopefully that's enough just to overwhelm them. Wall of Omens, sure. Thing about our creatures with trample is, even if they put things in front of it and ephemerate it, it doesn't do as much as you think. Another Noble Hierarch, sure. Hopefully we find just enough stuff to really run them ragged. On their end step, oops, we gotta have at least 1 green. Coco, oof, that's a bit of a whiff. Hell's Thunder, Ignoble Hierarch, okay. And then any order. And then we draw a Misty, which we can play and just take stuff out of our deck. So take out a Stomping Ground now. Actually, 1, 2, 3, 4, and then 1, 2. So we can play the Thunderkin as well. I mean, why not? They're not exactly pressuring us at the moment. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Another Coco. 1 Groundbreaker. Brutal. So that's actually pretty bad in any order. And then red, and Thunderkin Awakener. So no reason to attack with Thunderkin Awakener, because there's no ball in the graveyard yet. Sure. So they got rid of Soul Herder. Probably get rid of Thunderkin Awakener would be the best idea. Yeah. And they can't ephemerate right now, so this is fine. All right. And we just attack with our 2 big creatures. And we can actually start unearthing the Hell's Thunderers as well. All right. So they're going to check in the Forge Tender to stop Thunderkin from doing any damage. They're still going to take quite a bit off a Groundbreaker. Even if they throw Wall of Omens in front, I'm okay with that, because that means they stop drawing cards. Nope. They're just going to go to 9. So these 2 creatures get pitched. But again, we get to put a Hell's Thunderer, which is has got to deal 7 damage off the top. What do they do? Oh, they have their own Coco. Okay. So probably looking for Soul Herder. You know, they're doing a lot of thinking on what to take, so I don't like the amount of decisions I have to make right now. Ice Fang, Coatl, and Aether Channeler, sure. So they get to Coco and draw 2. That is a good Coco as well. Coco v Coco, not surprised. Not entirely sure what they're waiting on. At the moment, they should just draw their 2 cards. There we go. They finally figured it out. Cool. Draw a card. I mean, if that's all they got out of that, that's not that bad. We draw Lightning Skelemental. You don't say. Let's just do that. Lightning Skelemental. Lightning Bolt. All right. And swing in with Mr. Bones Wild Ride here. 2 Exalted triggers. Boy, are Ignoble Hierarchs really pulling their way in this deck. That's fine. You still have to discard the cards, which is what I'm more worried about. All right, so what do you get rid of, big guy? An Ice Fang, Coatl, and another Wall of Blossom. So just things that would help if they got blinked. We might as well play out the Gemstone. Doesn't matter. Yield through the turn and try and win off a Hell's Thunder next turn. So we can just go ahead and yield. See the worst our opponent can do. Worst would probably be a Soul Herder. Sure, you can attack me for 3. I don't mind. In fact, you probably could have even attacked with the Aether Channeler, because it wasn't going to block, but sure. I guess I would have done the same amount of damage. Hey, another Lightning Skelemental. Unfortunately, I feel as though they have the Solitude, because they always have Solitude, so Solitude, you have to let it hit the field first, opponent, and then you can Solitude my guy. Yep, okay. So I move to combat, you cast Solitude, I cry. I cry every time. What are they doing here? I mean, this is a really late Solitude. I know they have it. There's no way they don't. Yep. There it is. There is the Solitude. So now we're in that spot again in the game we lost where we're kind of our back up against the wall. I mean, that's always kind of been the problem here. Our opponent is playing real Magic cards and we're playing 12 ball. So Solitude on its own invalidates this deck. Fire Ice also invalidates this deck. So we're seeing how many we can steal today. If you expected something meta breaking, yeah, no. Another Coco would be nice though. We could probably steal it with another Coco. Ball Lightning. So how much is this? This is 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We don't have enough to do both, but I suppose Ball Lightning technically does more damage. So let's try the old Ball Lightning here. If they have another Solitude in hand, I scoop. No way. Oh, it's just Venser. Okay. That's slightly less salt-inducing. Slightly. Yeah, no, you exalt nothing. So 5, 6, 7, 8. We're not technically dead. So we'll give it a go in case we happen to draw like anything of note. I don't think so. I think if you go back in the video and you look at what the Cocos did, I think they put a lot of our bigger stuff on the bottom. Oh, is this literally just 2 of those? Yeah, I'll throw a Noble Hierarch in the way. I would have thought they would have just swung out. This is finally the Soul Herder. Yeah, 30 years later with the Soul Herder. So they just blink Solitude, right? Yeah. Is there a way for us to win now? I don't think so. I mean, we didn't exactly put the anger in the deck because we thought we would be fast enough. And like we almost were. But Solitude, like those elementals in Modern are format defining. They are so good we should honestly be playing Fury in our deck as well. But we're not. What do we draw? Lightning Bolt. Can I get away with this with Lightning Bolt? We got rid of that. We are at 11, however. We don't have enough red to cast Ball Lightning. 3, 5, 7, 8. So we technically have another turn to live. Technically. I mean, I'm going to be real upset when I'm editing this later, but sure, let's add more time to the video. All right, opponent. What do you got? More elementals? Yeah, I got a subtlety in there you want to just throw out? Nope, just swing. We cracked for roughly 1 million. Solitude's lifelink puts them much higher. And we die, I think. Yep, even Lightning Skelemental can't save us now. Oh well. Lost in game 1. Let's go to game 2. All right, and our opponent has won the die roll, and we have an unkeepable hand. So, Mull, this works. All right, our opponent kept 6. We're going to keep as well and put, probably the Mountain to the bottom, Stomping Grounds. Our opponent plays a Mutavault as their first thing. That's a weird first turn play, but sure. I mean, then again, ours isn't exactly any less confusing. Here's our Bird of Paradise. Opponent reading Bird of Paradise. This is what we're reduced to, folks. Man, opponent really reading Bird of Paradise. This is the first time they've seen it. I mean, I don't expect so with the name K-SWAT 1980. I have to assume the person's roughly my age. All right. Let's see. Mutavault. Are they just going to play an island? A mountain. And they shock bird. I'm getting flashbacks to the last time one of our opponents played shock, and we got absolutely dumpstered, but let's see what happens here. Another Thunderkin Awakener. Sure. We take another 2 damage. We just cast Thunderkin. I mean, next turn he won't do much, but we'll be able to cast Ball Lightning. Okay, now opponent's stopping to read Thunderkin Awakener. That makes a little more sense, you know? All right. Oh, this has haste. Ha ha ha, it can attack. So, haha, opponent, you are now at 19. I mean, it would have been much cooler had you not shocked the bird, but I mean, last time we went up against a budget burn deck, we lost, so I got nowhere to talk. Opponent really thinking about their turn. They like to savor the moment to what they're going to do next, and I can appreciate that as a fellow connoisseur of jank elemental decks. That's actually the best part now I think about it. We're playing an elemental deck with none of the good elementals. So this could be called 12 ball, or it could just be called bad elementals. All right. Looks like they're just passing to combat. Sure. So they did nothing. We draw another stomping ground. Let's just go get the Blood Crypt. Oh, that can't get Blood Crypt. Oh well, I guess we get the final stomping ground, and we Ball Lightning. I mean, if they're playing Shock, they probably have a whole bunch of 1 damage things that can kill the Ball Lightning. But the Ball Lightning is going to come back each turn now, thanks to Thunderkin Awakener. So let's see what they do. I mean, they might wait to see if I accidentally attack into Mutavault with Thunderkin Awakener, or they could just tap their red mana now and kill Ball Lightning. But I feel like taking 6 to kill my Thunderkin might not be the best move. Here comes Ball Lightning. I'm sure my opponent has some sort of removal-y, damage-y, burny spell. They're playing Shock in Modern, which, shockingly, more common than you'd think. They bolt the creature that's not attacking. Okay. Sure thing. I mean, they don't know I have another one in my hand, but I know I have another one in my hand. All right, so what do they do on their turn 4 here? You got 5 cards in. Are they just hitting us with Mutavault? Okay. I feel slightly okay about this race. Ignoble Hierarch. Well, I don't feel like we need to take any more damage to play him out right. Oh, we don't have to take any more damage to play him out right now. We just play him out. And fun fact, because of how Thunderkin Awakener works, it counts with the Exalted trigger. Because at the moment, it attacks, it's attacking alone. The other creature comes in after the Exalted trigger occurs. So we swing, it gets Exalted, and then Ball Lightning comes back. And we deal 8. Puts him to 5. Ball Lightning gets super sacrificed. And we have all sorts of way of killing him. Oh, but they finally got to 3, so I feel like something big will happen. On-Crop Crasher, or they'll play On-Crop Crasher. That is also a thing. Don't get me wrong, I love On-Crop Crasher. On-Crop Crasher was a house in, like, Kaladesh, Dominaria, like, era standard. I love On-Crop Crasher. I will play that card as much as I can, but, I also don't believe it's a great card. So we just, now, ladies and gentlemen, there's what we should do, and then there's what I'm going to do. So what we should do is cast Hell's Thunder. What I'm going to do is cast Bloodbraid Elf, and we cascade into Bird of Paradise. Well, I've been punished for not casting Hell's Thunder. All right, we attack, go get Ball Lightning. That has Trample, big guy. So Kersplat, and there's game 1. Our opponent kind of got mana screwed though, so can't be too harsh on him. So Brian, you gonna remember to put these forests back in the deck, right? Right? I think that's really all we want to do. So let's try that. Okay, match 2, game 2. What's going on here? Here's the problem. We do nothing until turn 3, so this is actually a mull. This is roughly the same hand. Let's try one more time. Okay, this is slightly more keepable, so we have to give up on something. So if we give up on Blood Crypt, actually, I think we give up on Lightning Bolt, and we just hope our Bird of Paradise lives. Now, that might be a little silly. Sure, starting off again with the Mutavault. We are playing against a burn deck, and yeah, these Birds of Paradises, they don't always have the longest lifespan. I guess we do get the Overgrown Tomb in case we draw Skelemental, but we have a Groundbreaker in our hand. So we also have to make sure we can cast Groundbreaker. All right, what's our opponent do? Shocks our bird, just kapow out of the sky. If that's your whole turn, I don't feel that bad. I feel kind of bad because I don't get to Groundbreaker next turn, but you know. Oh, Earthshaker Kendra. All right, so our opponent's just playing like the mono red deck that got banned out of like the Amonkhet standard, which, you know, I can dig. Wanted to make it so its own creature couldn't block, as opposed to the bird. I suppose they want me to make the mistake of throwing my bird in front of Earthshaker Kendra, which I can tell you I'm not doing. All right, Ignoble Hierarch. It's the ignoblest of all the hierarchs. So we just play the green ball Groundbreaker, and we come screaming in. Groundbreaker goes away. I mean, we are at 13 against a burn deck, which might not be the smartest thing, but we kind of do have to move fast here. What, on-cop Crasher? Or no, just hitting us for 2. So hopefully this collected company finds 2 balls. A Skelemental would be nice to find. Also, finding something that didn't deal us 2 damage would be great too, so any of our basics would be a nice catch. Lightning Bolt. Well, that's not the life we live. So for those of you keeping count at home, we've dealt ourselves way too much bloody damage. Coco. Okay, so Thunderkin Awakener, Lightning Skelemental. Okie dokie. And Anywhere. So please don't kill the Thunderkin Awakener. Please? Pretty please? That's nicely. I know your hand is just full of removal, but it'd be nice if I got to do both. If they spend 2 burn spells on taking down our Coco creatures, that's kind of sad, but also kind of fine. There goes Magma Spray. Which I suppose I should have seen coming, because I know the deck they're playing. I'm amazed they're playing it, but I know the deck they're playing. I mean, do they have another one to take out the Skelemental? Because honestly, that's a decent enough blowout. Oh no, they're going to let us attack with Skelemental. Okay, so they have to discard 2. Hopefully they're not Brazen Woot Walls. No, just 2 mountains. So I suppose they're not that heartbroken about it. There goes Lightning Skelemental. So now we really do need to top deck something good rather quickly, because I have to assume their hand is all gas. So there's Lightning Bolts. They could just have Hazaret. Hazaret would be a thing. They could also just have Chandra, 4-mana Chandra out of this deck. Goblin Chain Whirler, 1 more red mana Goblin Chain Whirler that kills our bird. No, they're just gonna hit us for 4. Okay. I mean, not the worst play. Puts us to 5. Do we draw anything of note? Hell's Thunder. So if they don't kill Hell's Thunder, we win? Hell's Thunder, which is a 4/4, which hopefully is a little bit out of their reach. Oh no, we don't win because this doesn't give it +1/+1. So that might have been a little punty. We actually have to now hold back our Lightning Bolt to make sure we don't die on the crackback. I was under the impression that Birds of Paradise had Exalted, and it doesn't. The one with Exalted's in my hand. Okay, so playing real fast and loose, guys. Let's see what they do. If they just animate Mutavault, I feel relatively okay. Because we can always throw Birds of Paradise in front of one of the other things so we don't die to a bolt. And animating Mutavault takes out 2 of their mana. Okay, they're just animating. Do they just attack? Because we will snap blow up Mutavault with our Lightning Bolt. Okay. So here's how this works. We block here, and then before damage, we bolt their land, leaving us at 5, hopefully leaving us alive. And we just have to draw off the top any of our ball creatures. We have quite a few. I do know we put some to the bottom, and Lightning Skelemental. Hooray. Boy, am I glad I fetched mana the way I did. I mean, the other thing is if they just have the Lightning Bolt, which I'm pretty sure they have in their hand, they could just bolt Lightning Skelemental. I don't know why I'm celebrating so much. Or Magma Spray. They could just Magma Spray. Pretty sure that means we're dead. Pretty sure. Pretty sure we are dead. Yeah, you do you, Budget Red. You do you. All right, so just swing and then bolt. I actually have 4 Earthshaker Kendras in foil. I might pull those out to show off later. Earthshaker Kendra coming in hot. Ow. Okay, where's your burn spell? Come on, show it off. This is so sad. So we play Ignoble, and Ignoble has to live for this plan to work. Because we need Ignoble to be the mana for Hell's Thunder. The other problem here is, oh no, it just died immediately, huh? They hit us for 2 with Earthshaker. We just can't. Okay, yeah, we're done. So what do we do now? I guess Defense Grid technically works. Take out the Gemstone Caverns. We don't need those if we're on the play. Remember this time. I think that's about it. I mean, Anger, meh. You know, I feel like Anger of the Gods a bit meh. I feel like Defense Grid's where we want to be. So let's try this. So let's take out 2 Hell's Thunders. Actually, Hell's Thunders are actually fine. So if we take out a Groundbreaker, a Ball Lightning, Thunderkin Awakener, because they'll probably have some sort of graveyard hate. And maybe one more Groundbreaker, maybe. Try that, question mark. Hopefully we didn't take too many teeth out of the deck. We somehow have 61 cards in the deck because I'm a silly boy. But honestly, this hand's fine. So Wooded Foothills, crack. This might be wrong, but into Forest. I'm going to try and keep as much life as I can. And even if they kill the bird, we can Thunderkin Awakener next turn. Please do nothing. I mean, sure. Well, they're doing what's right. They're getting a lot of removal in. All right, we draw Lightning Skelemental, which we now can't cast on 3 because I played a different thing. So let's just play Stomping Ground. Play out Thunderkin Awakener. We're just trying to get them empty-handed. And the more spells they throw at my creatures, the less spells they throw at me. So Thunderkin Awakener, get in, poke him for 1. Next turn, we can cast Hell's Thunderer, and then, or Hell's Thunder. It's not Thunderer, even though I want it to be. And then from there, we can try and Lightning Skelemental. That's a 2-2. That is sure a 2-2 opponent. Kitchen Finks. That doesn't exactly change the plan now, does it? So we can't attack with Thunderkin right now. But if we play out Overgrown Tomb, we take 2. We can't, no. So we have to Misty. We have to deal ourselves a whole bunch of damage, unfortunately. Because that can't fetch reds, because again, I fetched wrong. So deal ourselves some damage. Red, red, green. Hell's Thunder. We leave Thunderkin Awakener back because Dragon Lord just blocks it. Deal 4. Next turn, we can Lightning Skelemental, or depending on how much life we're at, we might have to Kitchen Fink. You're just leveling up the dragon. Oh no, they're playing a second one. Okay, not terribly worried about those. Level that up once, sure. You have to level that up 4 times though before it does anything of note. Feel free to attack, or not, sure. Bloodbraid Elf, that's interesting. I don't think we're gonna Bloodbraid Elf though. I think we do this, and I think we just Skelemental their face and try and get them pretty empty-handed. And then next turn, we just Kitchen Fink, and we attack again with Lightning Skelemental if it lives. Or if Thunderkin Awakener lives, that is. Please put your creatures in front of this. Sure. Again, less worried about the damage, more worried about the cards in your hand. So what are the cards in your hand and why are they in the bin now? Sweltering Suns and a Mutavault. Sure. They can just put everything into this and make it a 4/4 flyer. Okay, so they shock that, which is fine by me. I could still make this a 4/4 flyer. Yep. 1, 2, and 3. Okay. They come crashing in for 4. Oh, but they're empty-handed, though. That's interesting. We go to 8. I don't think they can deal us 8 all in one turn. Another Stomping Ground. Well, we're not gonna play that. I think we do play out our Bloodbraid Elf and hope for really cool stuff. Ball Lightning. I'll play Ball Lightning. Oh, they just, no, they make that level 8 and it's an 8/8 flyer and now I've lost because, oopsie. Well, that's on me. I could have played Kitchen Finks and we could have lived another day, but oops. Yeah, so if they just level that up, they just win. So that's a pun on my end, but bravo to the guy playing the budget red deck taking us down. So that's a good 0-2 for the budget deck. All right, really cleaning them up here. Brian showing off the deck, doing good. All right, let's go to game 3. All right, losing the die roll as is tradition. Opponent appears to have some sort of, is it the Brass Knuckles card from New Capenna? This hand is actually amazing. So we will be keeping this. See what our opponent's up to. Plays out, ooh, it's Boogles. Well then, we need to hyper out a Skelemental. So, Stomping Ground, yes. Ignoble Hierarch. Hopefully they don't get First Strike too fast. If they get First Strike, that kind of dismantles our deck. Just another Boggle. Okay, that could have been worse. You can even attack him with the Glade Cover Scout if they want. Sure. That does mean the Lightning Skelemental gets to connect pretty hard. Another Stomping Ground. No reason to help them too much. So red, red, and black, and Lightning Skelemental. All right, swing in. Next turn, we can even Bloodbraid Elf, hopefully find more Skelementals. They just take it? Yeah, no. They discard 2. Get rid of Sentinel's Eyes, which they can escape, and another Boggle. Wow, they kept a heavy Boggle hand and not a lot of enchantments. Rancor, okay, so here we go. And they deal us 4, we deal them a decent amount. Wow, they have so many Boggles and so little actual enchantments. There's a Coco. Is Coco better than Bloodbraid Elf? Probably. Go get a basic, keep our life total up as much as we can, and we'll just, Coco. El Coco Loco. And hopefully find 2 balls. We do. We find plenty of balls. In fact, we find a Thunderkin Awakener. So we Thunderkin Awakener as well as the Groundbreaker. Cool. And just any order. We're not getting to the bottom of our deck here. We attack. We get to get the Skelemental and force them to discard whatever's in their hand. Also, I think we just did enough damage to kill them. 12 ball. Undisputed winner of game 1. If I was playing Arena, this would be real impressive. All right, so we win game 1. Do we have, I guess, Anger technically against Boggles? We can Chalice and just lock ourselves out of 1-drops, but it's what we kind of have to do. And Gemstone Caverns because we're going to be on the draw. So take out the 2 forests, put in the 2 gemstones, take out a Bloodbraid Elf, take out a Bloodbraid Elf, take out 1... actually, the flying's probably important. Take out 1 Groundbreaker and put in these guys and try that. 1 mana, but a ton of dorks, but the anger's not exactly going to work with the dorks, so mull. Okay, we'll keep this. We'll put one of our lands to the bottom. I guess we can put the Stomping Ground to the bottom. And first time today, we find Copperline Gorge. There's actually like 3 of those in this deck. All right, so they play a Boggle because you don't keep a 7 unless you have a Boggle. So it's an actual Boggle this time. All right, and then we draw Ignoble Hierarch. Okay, so we want to get Ignoble Hierarch down now because pretty soon no one's going to be able to do 1-drops. So yes, sir. And there we are. And I do think even if we draw a ball, we take next turn off to play the Chalice on 1, and we try and go from there. Now, if he plays a whole bunch of 1-drops on Slippery Boggle, that's just, going second. But let's see what they do here. Okay, they're playing a 2-drop. A Rancor? Did they pay 2 mana for Rancor? Oh, Sentinel's Eye, sure. Okay, so it has Vigilance. It'll start hitting us for 4, which is fine. But they're done playing 1-drops now. Yeah, go ahead and hit us. We're going to take quite a bit of damage setting this up, but hopefully the Chalice is enough to lock them out of the game. I'm willing to take that bet. Groundbreaker, yeah. I don't think Groundbreaker is where we want to be right now. So, Tunk, and Chalice on 1. All right. We're not going to attack into a 4-2. We are going to take another 4 damage, but hopefully we find a way to just kind of go past them. All that glitters. That's not good. 7-5. No reason to block because it has Trample. I think this is just the difference between draw play, if I'm being honest. What do we draw? We draw a Windswept Heath. We do this, put ourselves to 5, which is the lowest we can. Play out a Bloodbraid Elf. We took the things out. Silly Brian. I don't remember what you're doing, big guy. So what can Bloodbraid Elf can find Anger. If Bloodbraid Elf finds Anger, we trade it in. Actually, no, that doesn't even kill it anymore. So I don't think there's anything this can find. Lightning Bolt. No, we don't need to count our own spell. So yeah. That is game 2. Going on to game 3. Womp womp. I mean, if we had gone first, the Chalice would have absolutely dumpstered them. Maybe we can take out some of these bolts. We take out these bolts, we get to put our Groundbreaker and our Bloodbraid Elves back in. We're also going to be on the play, so we put our Force back in and take out our Gemstone Caverns. And that's about all we can do, I think. So fingers crossed. All right. I don't think so. This doesn't actually do anything till turn 3, and by then we're dead. Okay, so we're actually going to find out now if Chalice on 2, or Chalice on 1 on turn 2 works. So we'll put back Hell's Thunder for now, because we're actually taking like a prison strategy here. So play Wooded Foothills and pass. All right, and they definitely kept a hand with a Boggle, because you don't keep 7 cards without a Boggle. Also, he's playing a million of them. So there's Boggle. We have 1 to worry about. Go get a Stomping Ground tapped. All right, and now we give up on Birds of Paradise because we need to lock them out. So we just drew dead, but this is the life we lead. If they spend an entire turn getting rid of our Chalice, that's also fine in my book. Nope, they have a 2-drop Boggle. So they have 2 1/1s. Then again, we have nothing, so we don't have much to talk about here. And if we just sit here and draw 1-drops, then I feel bad. But I really hope we draw not a 1-drop. Thunderkin Awakener, that counts. Red, green, Thunderkin Awakener. Now we want to draw a 4th land so very bad. So very, very bad. Because if we do that, then, yeah. We can Bloodbraid Elf, or we can probably Coco. Coco would probably be correct. They're just gonna draw off a Canopy, which means they're done casting spells this turn. They can attack with both of them if they'd like. Oh, is the threat of Thunderkin Awakener stopping you? Okay, they hit us to 16, that's fine. We draw Ignoble Hierarch. Feels sad. We'll just pass. No reason to do anything. Kind of keep their attacks back, hope they don't draw anything. I mean, their hand is clearly full of 1-drops at this point. Razor Verge Thicket, all that glitters. Spirit Mantle, okay. So that's a 2-2 with protection from creatures now. They found like 1 of the cards that actually helps them. All right, sure, let's crack this now. Even though we're trying to find lands, I'm sure this deck is just all my 1-drops on top of each other, humping in a pile. So let's go get just another Stomping Ground, I suppose. Nope. And we draw Lightning Skelemental. This is my deck's idea of a joke. Cool. So we just continue to draw things we can't cast, and our opponent can draw things they can cast. Cool game. Cool game, bro. And I really have to have a conversation about the guy who put this deck together. Huh, okay. Well, they have a 4-drop, question mark? They just have 2 2-drops? Daybreak Coronet. That's the one you don't want to see. So we successfully sat here when we locked our opponent out of the game and then slowly died. Then again, like, I'm sure their hand was full of 1-drops, otherwise they wouldn't have sat there and done nothing for so long. So they deal us 8, there's nothing we can do about it. It has protection from everything. And now we draw our land? No, now we draw Anger. Very funny deck. Cool. That's 0-3. We're doing great, guys. Okay, currently on the road to silver. We have lost a die roll again, but this hand's actually great. I mean, the fact that this is winning game 1 and is getting its butt kicked in game 2 leads me to believe my sideboard is just kind of brutal and awful. So who knows? But hey, we're in game 3. Mog Fanatic. Okay, we're against goblins, and that can actually kill our stuff, which is kind of annoying. I'm willing to bet they do just kill the Bird of Paradise. So watch. No, I think we still just play out the Bird of Paradise in case they decide they want to make a mistake. And we leave the lightning bolt for slightly bigger and better things. All right. Swamp. Munitions expert. Okay, so they're going to find a way to kill the bird, but not in the way we thought. They kill the bird, they get us for 1. They don't even have to sacrifice Mog Fanatic. Look at that. Look at that. So we're gonna play this. We're gonna go get a Stomping Ground. We're gonna kill Mog Fanatic now, because hopefully they're out of removal, and then play out Ignoble Hierarch, which means next turn we can play Ball Lightning, we can play Groundbreaker, we can play all sorts of things. I always thought Munitions Expert definitely had a slush art left over from an unset, just based on how ridiculous it is. So there's the Snoop, which means they can set up for the combo, and we can throw a single Ball Lightning at them. This deck is fun. It's not good, but it's fun. Yeah, sure. Hit me for 1, why don't you? And we draw a Wooded Foothills, which does us no favors, but hey, this is the life we chose to lead. So we go get just a Stomping Ground. This don't matter. None of this matters. Groundbreaker and swing. I mean, I think they look at 7 damage and they just shrug. Yeah, that's what I thought. I mean, we had no way of interacting with them. This deck's kind of light on interaction. Okay, so if they have the card from Lorwyn, they can just win, I think. Wait, did they go fetch and the top of their deck didn't change at all? Mitgo, come on, we can see you. Goblin Ringleader. Well, that ought to change the top. So he finds Mog Fanatic, Mog War Marshal, and another Conspicuous Snoop. The Den of the Bugbear just goes away. I mean, unfortunately, I don't think a single Ball Lightning solves our problem. If we draw like a Coco and we can find multiple Ball Lightnings, we can kind of force them to chump a little bit. Ooh, that's not good. Doesn't that, I thought this got, oh, it's only activated abilities, so it doesn't get the Lord effect. They should just kind of come in swinging though. Yep. So for those of you keeping count at home, we're actually getting worse as the night goes on. So get crunched to 7. We draw a mountain. You've heard me say this before, but that's our deck telling us to go fuck ourselves. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So we're dead. Cool. Game 2. Cool. Against goblins, you say. I guess anger. Chalice doesn't really do it. So take out 1 Groundbreaker, put in 1 anger. That's really all we got. Clearly, the sideboard is the problem here. So, oh well, game 2. All right, we choose to play first. Yeah, this hand works. We'll keep. In theory, this is like the best hand the deck does. So we take 2, play out Bird of Paradise, and then next turn we get to Skelemental, and hopefully that affects them some way, somehow, somewhere. Oh, they just put that in play tap, so we just absolutely get to run into them. So Overgrown Tomb, play 2. Red, black, red, and here we are. And K Runch. So hopefully discarding 2 cards knocks them off balance. And then Thunderkin Awakener coming in next turn and just Skelementaling over and over and over again. Make sure we continue to go 1-2 in every match and not getting absolutely stomped 0-2. Yep, just gives up on 2 random Gobos. There goes that thing. So they can even kill the bird now. It doesn't matter. Oh, yes. Play. Wonderful. Okay. So whatever we draw doesn't matter. We draw a lightning bolt. Okay. Well, the good news is there. We get to do this. We get to play Thunderkin Awakener. We get to bolt their goblin. And we get to swing in to grab the Skelemental and crack them. So when the deck works, the deck works. It's just, I suppose it has no filtering. It has no, like, extra card draw. And it really just seemed to not be able to take down 2 in a single match. So got rid of a Munitions Expert, got rid of a Sling Gang Lieutenant. So next turn, they're just playing Aether Vial? Okay. They had Den of the Bugbear, so they don't have much going on. I mean, they're dead on board right now, which leads me to believe that... Oop, I would have thought they had a Lightning Bolt, but nope. We are just dead on board. All right, begin sideboarding. So we made it to game 3. Gemstone Caverns come in. Forests come out. Maybe one of these days we'll find those. And yeah, I think that is it. Let's try that. All right, so this is actually great. So keep, play Gemstone Cavern, exile the mountain, because the mountain just turned into a Gemstone Cavern, and that means turn 2 collected company. Okay. I mean, for those of you who stayed this long in the video, it's normally like 25% of the people who started get this far in the video. You get to actually see the deck hopefully take one down, but I'll learn the same time you do if it does. All right, so play bird as the word, play Stomping Ground tapped, and then next turn, if things go great, we get to collect a company. If things don't go great, we just get to Groundbreaker. So, I mean, hopefully we're moving fast enough on our opponent, and that's why Gemstone Cavern's in the deck, so you can just really set up super quickly and just, you know, pound your opponent out before they have a chance to do anything. Boardmaster, sure. Let's do. Yep, that's fine. Gabo gets to Gabo, doing Gabo. So our thing lived, which is great. So now we get to Coco and put in a ball lightning and put in a ball lightning, I think. I realize there's a Thunderkin Awakener in there, but I suppose we're just trying to deal so much damage so fast between the other balls we have in our hand. So here's 12 damage on turn 3 screaming at you. Took it to 7, okay. And next turn we get to Groundbreaker, Cavern of Souls on Gabo. I mean, we don't have them right now, so this could honestly cause problems. Okay, Goblin Matron, so they get to put the Goblin directly into their hand. Will probably be Slinging Lieutenant, Suspicious Snoop. They just get to put that out. So actually what would be best is drawing a Lightning Bolt, Bloodbraid Elf. I don't think we're Bloodbraid Elfing at this exact moment. I think we are just going to Groundbreaker. All right, so we swing. They can just take this to 1 and just win with a combo. So here comes Snoop. I assume they throw some number of goblins in front of this, and then like we're kind of riding on Hell's Thunderer being our answer. Okay, yeah, so they just throw the one that's unimportant. They do go to 3, and this is why we kind of wanted, we kind of did want Lightning Bolt, because then we could have just bolted them. But I mean, at this point, we're yielding through the turn. We have no play. If they can kill us with the combo, it is turn 4, so they just need the Lorwyn Elf, right? We need the Lorwyn Elf. They get Kiki Jiki. They make unlimited elves. The Lorwyn Goblin, I mean, the black one, and then they make unlimited stuff. So I think that's how they could win from here. Otherwise, Hell's Thunderer should get it. Should, and unless we find a collected company, we're probably pretty fine. We just do Hell's Thunder, and that's probably enough. Anti's Hovel showing off the guy we knew about. Oh, wait, no, that's not the one we knew about. What's this, then? A lot of mana. Oh, Goblin Ringleader. Sure. Our flying dude still kind of works, then. Okay, so we should be fine, because that means our flying dude should kill them, and then, oh my god, we might actually win one. Oh, no! They got it? After they slow rolled us just to do that in the very end? They were just waiting for me to say we might actually win one. And then the moment I said we might actually win one, they decided to Conspicuous Snoop their way to victory here. So essentially what happens is they Conspicuous Snoop a million times. How do they win with this? Because they're all tapped. I guess they eventually need like a Slinging Lieutenant or some way to sacrifice all of them. Oh, how are they going to do this now? Because they're tapped out. They're completely tapped out. I'm sure there's something I'm missing here. But they're completely tapped out and these things die, right? Beginning of your next end step sacrifice. Yeah, so they can give things haste, but all of their things are tapped. They have no mana. They have a Skirk Prospector in hand, but to my knowledge, they can't get the Skirk Prospector out. But I know this is part of the combo. I don't know how they win. So we're gonna stick around only because I'm curious. Oh, they do the Boggart. Oh, okay. So they do the Boggart right at the end, and then they go get the Slinging Lieutenant. Okay, and that kills us. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. Yeah, that's 18. Okay, so remember when I said we might win one, guys? I was wrong. 0-4. Oh man, it's been a while since we've gotten our butt kicked this bad. But yeah, let's go to one last match. See if we can find any glory whatsoever. All right, we win the die roll on the last one of the day. Again, in theory, this is a perfect hand. This is the best hand the deck can ask for. All right, so Stomping Ground. Yep, shock me, hurt me, daddy. Ignoble Hierarch and pass. You know, this one actually took quite a while to put out. And the reason it took quite a while to put out is because it wasn't good enough. And then I did some testing. I played some games, and in my test games, I didn't win them all. We're playing against Ad Nauseam, by the way. We didn't win them all, but we did do well enough, and I did win some matches in testing to where I thought it would be good enough when I turned the camera on. But boy, are we just getting shown the door today. Blood Crypt, hit us again. Red, black, lightning skelemental. All right, come on, let's go. Let's get our 1 dub. So knock them down to 13. They have to discard 2, and then we Thunderkin Awakener next turn, and hopefully that's fast enough. And then we go to Magical Christmas Land. We get the same hand again in game 2. We get to end on a high note. He said, knowing that's not how this game works. So it gets rid of a Profane Tutor, gets rid of Angel's Grace. Gemstone Mine probably plays out the little bauble thing that needs 2 different colors and ramps. Oh no, just Abundant Growth. Okay, sure. Turning Gemstone Mine into an actual land. It's a real land now with its Abundant Growth. There's Sleight of Hand, sure. I mean, we're going to deal them a lot next turn between Lightning Bolts and Thunderkins, but I don't think we're going to kill them. Wooded Foothills, Bibsy, Bobsy, Boobsy. Swinging again. Luckily for us, we get the best ball in the game, which is the one that also forces them to discard. All right, so they're down to 2 cards. They're also down to 5. So we just pass from here. Because if they Wrath, we want to be able to Thunderkin next turn. They're ending the turn, which leads me to believe they have an Angel's Grace in hand, which is unfortunate. So we'll just get a Stomping Ground, tapped. We'll hit them while we have the mana. Pow. Groundbreaker. Well, may as well. So Stomping Ground, tapped. Green, Groundbreaker. What are they doing here? Nah, just reading Groundbreaker. Yep, just a green ball lightning. Swing, go get Skelemental. They play Angel's Grace. Oh no, we got them. Skelementals do it. Against ad nauseum. Guess Ancient Grudge is fine. Guess the Gemstone Caverns is also fine. Chalice on what? Chalice on 2 stops one of their comp. Chalice on 0, I suppose, can also be fine. So take out the 2 forests. They're only meh. Put in the 2 gemstones, because we're not going first. Put in the Ancient Grudge to try and stop their mana. Put in the 2 chalices to try and stop their free spells. So what do we take out? We take out Hell's Thunderers because they deal the least, and they really don't play creatures, our opponent. So let's try this. Okie dokie. This is too slow. Well, we don't want to mulligan to 4, unfortunately. So get rid of Groundbreaker, get rid of Bloodbraid Elf. Hopefully we just draw lands, he said, knowing that he wasn't going to draw lands. Leyline of Sanctity. Were we targeting you with anything, opponent? I guess the lightning bolts are now dead. Oh, cool. We redrew a Groundbreaker. Neato. So yeah, I'll pay 2. And if we draw land, we can at least still just throw ball lightnings at them. They're not Skelementals, which I feel was integral to our win last time because the Skelementals actually attacked the hand, but we shall see. They have a Profane Tutor. Please be land. Please be land. Please be land. So all those cards we put to the bottom of our deck fooled you. They're actually on the top of our deck. We're going to lose this one, guys. No 2 ways around it. All right, we drew a Blood Crypt. Good for us. Yay. We can only play a ball lightning. Fear our ball lightning opponent. Attack. All right, they've gone to 13, but they've also gotten to do just whatever they want, and their Profane Tutor now goes off, so they get to get whatever. Probably just land, since they're missing land drops. I assume once they have some land, they can kind of go off. If we find another land, we get to Bloodbraid Elf, and that might help us. Might. All right, so we didn't have our chalices, so we couldn't stop Profane Tutor. Oh, our opponent just passes, so interesting. They're just waiting on... Why? If you didn't have lands, opponent, why wouldn't you just do lands? Okay, well, this is a new thing that happened. Thunderkin Awakener. And yeah, now we just get to keep throwing the ball lightning at our opponent's face. Abrupt Decay? Abrupt Decay. Sure, you've Abrupt Decayed. We didn't Abrupt Decay our creature, which is good. Or the creature that's important. You Abrupt Decayed the one that would have dealt some damage, but you would have Abrupt Decayed anything we played anyway. Is that what you tutored for? I really feel like you should have tutored for land. Profane Tutor. Okay, so there's another Profane Tutor. We draw land. Chalice. Well then. So first things first, ball lightning comes screaming in. Second thing, play that for 0. And now your Profane Tutor does nothing. We do need to officially find another land though, because we're out of things to play. So they find a Gemstone Mine, which I feel like if they had just had a land much sooner, it would have been much scarier. Abundant Growth. Okay, so they're even just turning their land into a real land. You get to draw a card, but even if they just play Pentide, we could just blow it up with Ancient Grudge. All right, we draw Coco, which does nothing because we didn't get to 4 mana. So we can't actually play anything. So we pass. You know, I dislike when Magic does this, and it really is souring me on this deck, which is unfortunate, because it is a fun deck, but boy, does this deck really like to annoy me. And when you play a game like Magic, when a deck annoys you, you can just never play it again. There's so many other things you can play. And of the pieces of this deck, like, there's so many of these cards that I can put into other decks. All right, you gotta win out of nowhere, because I sat here and managed to not find 4 mana sources. Oh, and it's just another Abundant Growth. Okay. Please, please, please just be taking turns off. Please let me actually play something. All right, now deck. Any land in the deck. Literally any of them will work. Oh my God, Becky. Yeah, no, we are going to lose. We are going to lose outright. I cannot believe this. They can just hard cast ad nauseum now. That's amazing. They didn't need to like cheat in any mana. They didn't need to do nothing. They just get to win because we sat here and drew 4 drops. Thassa's Oracle. I mean, sure, we can't do diddly anyway. Oh, Thassa's Oracle. Angel's Grace. Okay, what's the final piece is like Demonic Consultation or something? Spoils of the Vault. Sure. Yep. So this deck is very, very, very aggravating. Cannot tell you how annoyed I am right now. I don't think there's anything else we want to change here. I think we just try it again. Okay, so last game of the day before I go scream into a pillow. No deck. No. Fine. Keep, 2 lands, 2 dorks. I feel like this is wrong, but we'll give up on Ancient Grudge. Didn't exactly do us any favors last game. This is the game where they're gonna have like 4 Pentine Prisons by. So Stomping Ground, cool, because it doesn't really matter. And Ignoble Hierarch. They still have the Ley Lines of Sanctity. I suppose I should have just taken the bolts out of the deck. Copperline Gorge, sure. Green, oh, green, thank you. Green, and Groundbreaker. Groundbreaker deals just a little bit of extra damage, which is nice. And it goes away. City of Brass into... This feels like Pentide. Deck, I hate you so much. Thunderkin Awakener, you say? I feel like just playing the Thunderkin's smarter. So wing, bada. All right, they're gonna have winning mana next turn because I didn't keep the Ancient Grudge. Oh no, guys. Oh no. Come on, just combo off already. They have the magic number. They have 5. So what they do, Thassa's Oracle, Angel's Grace, Spoils from the Vault, win again. Oh, we get another turn. So they must have Angel's Grace. But hey, in the meantime, Hell's Thunder, sure. All right, so we try and just go fast. Yep, we kind of knew about that. I mean, if they're just having to string together Angel's Graces to try and not die, I suppose that's like the best we could kind of hope for, but I don't feel like they could play a Phyrexian Unlife and stall even longer. Oh no! Oh my god, did it? We won one W at the very end when no one's watching anymore. Yeah, I'll see you guys in the wrap-up. Okay, so what did we learn about playing pet decks in Modern that we haven't already learned? Because I think you guys should know by now that pet decks in Modern are not the best idea if you want to win. Now, obviously, I wasn't here to win. I was here to do something entertaining, which was throw a whole bunch of balls in my opponent's face. And I think we did succeed in doing that. Now, obviously, there were some misplays in there that were on me. Like, I feel like we could have won against that mono-red, like, budget deck. But again, kudos to that guy for beating me with that pile of jank. Not that mine was any better. But if you want to play a deck like this, don't play this one. This one was around Groundbreaker. But really, if you take out the green and you just play it as Rakdos, it's a million times better because you get to Thunderkin Awakener, you get Skelemental, you get all of those like Deadly Disputes and all those other spells that allow you to sacrifice your creatures you're going to sacrifice anyway and draw more cards and kind of get out of it. I also think my sideboard was a little kerfuffed. You know, we had 3 defense grids. We actually put them in a few times. We never got to play one. So who knows what to say about that. Yeah, but it's a fun deck. It's not a good deck. It's the same way I'm fun to watch. I am not here to watch if you want to get good at Magic. That is not where we're at. Okay, so no one at all is watching this video at this point. So let's find something cool to show off at the end, as I often do. So let's go ahead and go into the Black Void. Hello, welcome to the Black Void. Apparently in the Black Void, my quality on the camera goes really bad for some reason. No idea why. I'll look into that. But let me get get something cool to show off. All right, so if you look at the back of any Magic card, and we're going to use this one as an example here, you'll see Deckmaster written on the back. And Deckmaster was actually part of Wizards of the Coast line of a whole bunch of different card games. So that's why the back of the Magic cards say Deckmaster. Now, back in the day, Deckmaster was also used as something else. Richard Garfield, the creator of Magic, and John Finkel, considered one of the best Magic players to ever live, were going to go head-to-head, and they sold this big tin of cards that were the Deckmaster series, and it was John Finkel versus Richard Garfield. And they just printed the lists exactly how they were going to play. And the reason I bring this up is because the backside of these two cards, or the front side rather, I have here, are two cards from that set. So here we have two Incinerates from Deckmaster. You can see the little D there, the old border foil. And these are a weird thing, because every now and then you get these cards with weird set symbols on them. And these little Ds, in my opinion, certainly are a weird little set symbol in their own right. So again, for the, I think it's like 9% of you now, stick around to the end, you get to see a little bit of Magic history and the just random stuff I have accumulated around. Thank you very much for coming on this painful journey with me. Today, we discovered that playing ball decks might not be the best for your sanity, but hey, it was fun. We did manage to get a win there at the end for those of you who stuck around. If you have a list you want me to look at and fail miserably at playing, please send it to heydummyplaythis@gmail.com. That's heydummyplaythis@gmail.com. Remember to like, comment, and subscribe, and thank you all for watching. I will see you next time. Bye.